Okay, so we start out this 12 bars with another great chord voicing that I use all the time when playing blues rhythm, and this is another ninth chord, right? Another sort of variation on an A ninth chord, and we're playing the flat 7 in the bass, the note G, and then the ninth, the note B, and then the third, C sharp, and then the root on top. So it's very similar kind of to this voicing where we don't have the root on the bottom, right? But this is a great voicing, really nice voicing that you can hear like Freddie King use in the tune Hideaway. That's kind of where I first learned it. But it's a great voicing. You can do little things like that, like take the third and move it up to the fourth and do like a suspended thing, or these little moves within the chord. So it's a very versatile chord. And again, we're just using that for our chord stab, right? Now, in between that, we're going to add this little fill, right? Which, again, like I said, kind of to me comes from like sort of an organ type thing. Again, it's sort of a chord fill where we're playing the notes to like a D triad, and then hammering on to like an A7, sort of the inside of an A7 chord where we have the flat 7, the third, and the fifth. So, and I'm reaching around and grabbing the bass note A with my thumb, so I get this kind of alternating thing, which just gives it, again, like sort of a fat sound, almost like you would hear sort of a piano player do, sort of alternating between the two hands, Right, again, so that's just a great, simple, very inside kind of rhythm thing. It's not going to get in the way of anybody playing anything else, but it gives you something else, another option to play in between your chord stabs. So. I also go up and play this voicing of a 13th chord, right, which is just sort of the top part of this A7 bar chord, but we're adding the note F sharp, the 13th, on top. And this has a very bright, kind of uplifting sound. It's, really a very, bright, kind of chimey sound. So it's really nice in this kind of up-tempo, uptown blues kind of thing to have that sound in there. Right, so that's the form. As we move through the chords, we just move that up, literally take that exact same pattern and just slide it up to fit for the D chord, the 4 chord. Right, and then for the E chord, I just take that same voicing and move it up, but without the fill because we only have one measure. So I play... And again, that little chromatic passing chord down to the D chord, and then we're right back to the A. So that's just a simple pattern. We can kind of move around the fretboard. Again, a really kind of simple but effective way of playing rhythm over this type of thing. Then as we move into the next 12 bars, I kind of break out of the pattern thing and play a little bit more of sort of a chord melody type thing where I'm doing this little voice leading move. I play this chord again, and then I play what's sort of a upper version of like a D7 chord, and then I move to this diminished chord, and then to an upper voicing of an A9 chord, right? But all this is really just a way of playing this little melody up on the B string from the 3rd, C sharp, up chromatically to the 5th, E, right? So I'm really just playing, something like that, or this simple little melody, but I'm fleshing it out with these chord voicings, right? that just give it a really nice fat sound. And this is the kind of thing you hear, you know, big band guitar players do, guys like Freddie Green or, you know, Irving Ashby, guys like that, sort of old school 40s style, you know, big band guitar players. And it's really just a great, effective tool for, you know, this is the kind of thing that like excites me, but also, you know, if you're playing rhythm, you throw this stuff in, it gives the other people you're playing with sort of something to feed off of, something exciting that's kind of different and interesting. So, that's all over the 1 chord. Then as we transition to the 4 chord, I slide this 9th chord voicing up an octave because I'm going to play below it, and you know, I don't really have space down here to do what I want to do, but I play this here, and then still all on the A chord, I'm going to play sort of the top part of this A9 chord and add the 13th on top. Again, that's sort of that Jimmy Nolan kind of funk chord, you know, that kind of a thing, but I'm using it in this blues context. Right, and again, that's just sort of tracking this melody, but adding chords along with it. And then I come down to this D13 chord, because that's where I'm heading. All of this is just a chord move to get to the 4 chord. So that whole thing right, is just a really nice way to get from the 1 chord to the 4 chord. And once I'm on this 13th chord, I can go down here to my 9th voicing. I can go to this 9th voicing. I have all these different options for voicings I can play. And then as we go back to the 1 chord, I'm playing around that 9th voicing again, adding the sus4 in there. And then when we get to the turnaround section, I play these same kind of 13th chord voicings we played before, but since I'm down here on this A chord and I want to go to my E to my D, I have these voicings right here, right? So I can use those. And that's going to lead us up to our ending lick, which again is a little, you know, kind of chord melody thing that I love to use to end a blues. And we're going to start with this A13 voicing and then move to like a B diminished voicing, or sorry, an F sharp diminished voicing. And then this, which is sort of like a, you know, you could look at this as like an E sus voicing. And then up here, which is a similar sort of E sus voicing, or, you know, you could look at this as like a D over E, D triad over E. But these are just kind of these, you know, very bright kind of suspended sounds that really lead well into resolving back to our A chords. So that ending is... right, which has a really great just way of kind of wrapping this whole thing up. So... that's a great little ending fill that I use all the time. So that's, you know, wraps up this kind of shuffle rhythm lesson. These are a bunch of different options and things that I use all the time.